Imagine waking up with a subtle current running through your veins. This isn't just energy, it's mental clarity, physical readiness, and a sense of control before the day even begins. Your mind is focused, your body feels strong. This is not a promise from a supplement advertisement. It's biology functioning as it was designed to. This is what testosterone feels like when it isn't being suppressed. Yet for many men today, this state feels distant. Mornings are heavy, mental fog lingers throughout the day. By mid-afternoon, caffeine or sugar becomes necessary just to stay functional. Looking in the mirror, many wonder where their former vitality went. Most follow the advice they've been given: 3 meals a day with snacks in between. Constant fueling is promoted as essential for keeping metabolism high and supporting testosterone. But an important question is rarely asked. What if constant eating is doing the opposite? The key mechanism here is chronically elevated insulin. When food is consumed every few hours, insulin never has the opportunity to fall. Persistently high insulin doesn't just promote fat storage, it interferes with the hormonal signaling pathways that regulate testosterone production. The hypothalamus sends the signal to increase testosterone. Elevated insulin disrupts this communication, preventing the message from reaching the testes. The result isn't a lack of effort or discipline. It's a breakdown in the system's communication infrastructure. This is why many men experiment with intermittent fasting. But the early phase often feels discouraging. Low energy, mood instability, decreased libido. Many stop and conclude that fasting damages hormones. In reality, what they experience is a temporary adaptation phase. When eating frequency is suddenly reduced, the body initially interprets this as food scarcity. In response, cortisol, the primary stress hormone, rises. Cortisol and testosterone share an inverse relationship. As cortisol increases, testosterone temporarily decreases. This physiological response prioritizes survival over growth and reproduction. In scientific terms, this is known as temporary gonadotropin suppression, and it is reversible. Research published in journals such as the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism confirms that short-term fasting can reduce testosterone temporarily while cortisol rises. The critical word here is temporary. As the body adapts and recognizes that energy is still available, simply delivered on a different schedule, cortisol levels normalize. This is when the system recalibrates. Once adaptation occurs, the benefits become evident. Mental clarity improves significantly. Energy becomes stable rather than fluctuating. And interestingly, blood tests may show little change in total testosterone levels, yet men report feeling dramatically different. The explanation lies in androgen receptor sensitivity. Testosterone's effectiveness depends not only on how much is present, but on how responsive cells are to it. Chronically elevated insulin reduces receptor sensitivity. Fasting restores it. Studies from institutions such as the University of Virginia have demonstrated that intermittent fasting can significantly increase androgen receptor expression in muscle tissue, even when total testosterone remains unchanged. In parallel, growth hormone secretion increases substantially. Fasting periods of 16 to 24 hours have been shown to elevate growth hormone levels by up to 1,000 to 2,000%. Growth hormone preserves lean muscle mass, mobilizes fat for energy, and works synergistically with testosterone. Concerns about muscle loss during fasting are largely based on misunderstandings. The process activated during fasting, autophagy, is not muscle destruction. It is a cellular recycling mechanism that removes damaged proteins and dysfunctional cellular components. Its importance to human health was recognized with the 2016 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. Initial reductions in muscle fullness are primarily due to glycogen and water loss, not true muscle tissue. Over time, muscle quality often improves, becoming denser and more defined. Fasting also enhances vascular function. Nitric oxide production increases, improving blood flow and circulation. This benefits not only physical performance, but overall cardiovascular and erectile function. At the neurological level, fasting helps restore dopamine receptor sensitivity. In a world of constant stimulation, food, screens, caffeine, the reward system becomes desensitized. Fasting acts as a reset, restoring motivation, focus, and a genuine sense of drive. The long-term outcome is metabolic flexibility, the ability to efficiently switch between glucose and fat as fuel. Energy crashes diminish. Hunger becomes manageable rather than urgent. At this stage, fasting is no longer a diet. It becomes a strategic physiological tool. And this brings us to the next critical question. Fasting and hormonal health are only one part of the equation. Even with perfect insulin control and metabolic flexibility, fat loss ultimately depends on one foundational variable: energy balance. If you truly want sustainable fat loss, without sacrificing hormones, performance, or sanity, you need to understand how many calories your body actually needs. Not estimates, not generic charts, but your real requirement. That's exactly what we covered in the previous video. How many calories do you really need to lose weight? When you combine metabolic flexibility with the right calorie target, fat loss stops being a struggle and becomes predictable. See you in the next videos. Stay healthy.